We have snow in May. Here we are. Getting this truck ready real quick. Gonna get it started up. Boy, do I got some stuff to tell you guys. Oh, it's going down my sleeve. That's awesome. Let's get this puppy turned on real quick. Well, I thought we were gonna call the day off, but here we are. This thing is gonna struggle to turn on, that's for sure. I ended up taking the truck home last night. Okay, let's blast the heater real quick. We'll get that going. I'll try to clean off this windshield real quick. That's not too bad. What is going on, my guys? I had to go back inside my house because I forgot the one thing all us drivers need the most, which is, you know, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Try to guess what it is. The one thing every single driver needs the most, and if you don't have it, your day might be screwed. You might have to stop somewhere and buy the thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Phone charger. I don't think there's any other item that you can bring with you that matters the most, of course, your phone itself, but other than your phone, the charger for the phone. But yeah, I walked out, I warmed the truck up, I was sitting there waiting, I jumped in the truck, I was about to leave, and I was like, oh, 20%, no charger. I was like, oh, I gotta go back inside. So as you can see, it's a beautiful day out here in northern Colorado. We got some snow here in May, but the roads are nice and still, like, they're not iced over or anything. They're just kind of slushy. I don't think it's cold enough for that yet. Plus, I don't think it's going to get to that point just because we already got some nice weather coming in these next couple of days. And then we're going to try to do what we can do without having to go to the landfill because I don't feel like getting stuck today. So we're going to avoid the landfill. We're just going to go pick them up, take them back to the shop, and we're going to stage them there for now, and then we're going to try to dump them Thursday or Friday once the weather actually lets us do that. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys are good. I don't think I've actually spoke to you guys about this, but I'm actually expecting a baby, or my wife and I are expecting a baby. She will be here any day now. Like, we're pretty much on the last month. So yeah, and then there's no signs of the baby coming anytime soon. My wife thinks that she's gonna go full term, so but yeah, I think that's one of those things that I've been holding back. I haven't really talked about it all throughout this whole YouTube journey. If I'm being quite honest with you guys, I feel like it all happened when it needed to happen. I feel like if this would have happened, like, you know, like 3 or 4 years ago, I wouldn't have taken it as good as I have. Like, I'm not even nervous. Like, I'm just excited. It's definitely time. I've always wanted to be a dad. For those of you that don't know, I never had my dad in my life. My dad died when I was 3 years old. Because of that, I made myself a promise that I would want to be the dad that I never had. It's time to show up and show out, you know. So it's part of the reason why I haven't really been posting anything, you know. Just been kind of busy with all that, trying to be there for my wife and stuff, and just be supportive. As you can see, we're having to get some stuff done in this crappy weather, and that's okay. Whenever we get snow this far out into the year, when we have all the trees have already bloomed, and, you know, they're all nice and green, it adds a lot of weight, so it starts snapping a bunch of branches and a lot of damage. It's good for tree companies because they get a lot of work, but as you can see, it's just, these trees are hurting right now. Are hurting for a squirting. That was weird. So I just saw a guy back there hitting the tree branches with a shovel, trying to get all that snow off of them. But yeah, so I was on my way down here to Loveland, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go down straight, take a left on 34, and then realized, oh wait, there's a massive road closure up here, so I'm gonna have to take a little detour. It's the way of the CDL, you know. But yeah, I definitely I do have some stories for you guys too, kind of funny. I had gone out to Greeley. I delivered a bin, left it, you know, did my thing, left, came back I think like a week later, and, you know, I come back, I'm taking my pictures, doing my normal routine. Lady comes out, you know, wants to talk, all that, and she's telling me how she had just moved to Greeley. You know, she tells me about her hometown and why she moved and stuff. Unfortunately, her husband had passed away, and so she wanted to get away from where they kind of built a life together. So she moves to Colorado, and out of all places, she moves to Greeley. And she follows up by saying, I just don't know what's going on around here. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, I've had to run off like 4 people trying to dump all their stuff in my bin. And I'm, at this point, I'm just like, you know, like, I'm not really surprised, but I'm not telling her that yet. She's like, yeah, like I've had to run off like 4 people. I had a truck roll up last night, like completely filled up with stuff, and they were just gonna start dumping all their stuff inside our bin. And I ran out and started yelling, and they drove off, and I was like, oh man, like that sucks. And she's like, and that's not all. I was like, oh God. She's like, the other night, we had a drunk lady zooming through the neighborhood, and like, let's say like 4 houses down, or like, I want to say like 3 or 4 houses on a downward slope from her house, there's a ditch, right? Or like where like the water runs off, like a water runoff or whatever. And I guess that lady had hit that ditch or that little dip and lost control of the vehicle and like swerved onto her freaking driveway, went through, or not her driveway, her yard, went through her yard and ended up hitting the neighbor's tree. So boom, this lady goes through her yard, hits the tree, and is sitting there. Cops roll up, she gets arrested, she's drunk, blah blah blah, right? Well, she's like, and that's not it, like that's not all. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, what? She's like, the other night I'm standing here like on my porch and I watch a truck roll up, and apparently that truck had creeped up next to a vehicle. 2 guys jumped out and they start trying to steal the she said either the rims or the catalytic converter out of the vehicle, and I'm guessing it's the catalytic converter. I feel like that would make more sense. So they proceed to start trying to cut off the catalytic converter off this vehicle, and the alarm goes off. So then, you know, the homeowners notice what's going on. They all run out. I guess they chase one of the guys down, and of course it happens on her yard. They chase him across the street. They're in her yard, and they're like fighting this guy. I guess they're punching him, kicking him. They're holding him down, and the cops roll up. So once the cops roll up, you know, they have him in handcuffs, and I guess he's spitting at all of them. He's just spitting and you know, just talking all kinds of crap. And so eventually the cops put that little net over his head so he can stop, you know, he doesn't spit on people. So she's like amazed. She's like, oh my God, like I just don't know what's going on. Like all this crazy stuff is happening. You know, I was told that Greeley is such a beautiful, calm place. And at this point I'm like, oh man, like the realtor was just trying to get a sale. And so, you know, she's telling me all that, and eventually I'm like, you know what, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm not very surprised that happened. Like you live in Greeley. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, Greeley's not very known to be like it depends on what part of Greeley you live in, but there are certain sections in Greeley where they're kind of iffy, you know, a little bit on the ghetto side, and I ain't got, you know, and I ain't bashing on it because I grew up the same way. I grew up on a like ghetto side of the city that I grew up in. And she's shocked. She's like, oh my God, like that's not what I was told, blah blah blah. And so I felt bad for the lady, and you know, I like I said, eventually I did end up telling her like what was really going on with the Greeley, and you know, unfortunately her realtor, I guess, kind of lied to her and just kind of got the sale. So that was a bit of a bummer, but the lady was super nice and just overall just very caring, and you could tell that she was just like, there's not a single cell in that woman's body that was like evil or just like, she's just super nice. But then again, looks can be deceiving, but from my experience with her, super nice lady. I have nothing bad to say about her. So yeah, that's kind of what happened the other day. This actually happened a couple weeks ago, or a week or two ago, but I had been wanting to tell you guys about it. I thought that was kind of funny. And and then this happened this week, actually. I think Monday, before we got all this. I'm on the highway, and I seriously almost witnessed a semi mow down like 5 cars. So let's say semi's where that red truck is at. I'm this blue car, the dead stop up ahead on the highway, and this semi clearly has no idea that had happened. So he must have been on his phone. He must have been doing something else, but he notices at the last second. I'm watching this whole thing go down. So what I did is, this is the lane I was in, the blue car. The lane I'm in now was a toll road, or like the toll lane. So what I did, I didn't care. I swerved into the toll lane, and he swerved into my lane to prevent hitting all those cars. And like let's be real here. Like, if he would have hit those vehicles going as fast as he was, like, he would have killed a lot of people, which is crazy. So just a quick reminder to not only the four-wheelers, but, you know, all you professional truck drivers who should be professionals, who should not be on their phones. Just be aware of what's going on. Be aware of your surroundings, especially as a CDL operator. Like, come on, dude. Like, you could have easily killed a bunch of people there, and that would have been easily prevented. But he was busy doing something else other than driving. So I'm going to be rolling up to the first house here shortly. But yeah, just be aware of what's going on, especially for you four-wheelers. Like, if you're on the highway and you come to a dead stop, you know, definitely keep an eye out, you know, on what's going on behind you, because you might stop, but the person behind you might not, you know. So just got to be aware. I've seen a lot of videos where, you know, people will come to a dead stop, and because of that, you know, that person was paying attention, looking in his rear view mirror. He notices that the car behind him isn't coming to a slow, you know, he's not slowing down. So he swerves out of the way, and boom, the car hits the car that was in front of him. So again, just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going on. I'm gonna set this up right here. I also have something else to share with you guys. This one's a bit of a bummer. I'm a bit sad about it, but it's my fault, so I can't really blame anybody else. Okay. That's awesome. I always check this now, because last time I showed up to a house and these were open, I had to sit there and try to close it while trying to latch the hooks, and that really sucked. Sucks that we have some stuff sticking out, but okay, cool. I'm gonna pick it up. Hopefully when I pick it up, it'll kind of slide back. All right, so back to what I was saying. I did something, and I'm pretty bummed out about it, only because I think it's one of those it's one of those things that as a driver you need. And if you don't have that, you're struggling with your phone, with answering calls, blah, blah, blah. I think you know where I'm going with this. I had bought the brand new AirPods Pro. I think they're the 3rd generation now. I bought them not even a month ago. And unfortunately, I had gone to the landfill. I had jumped out of the truck. So let me explain this a little better. I went to the landfill, I dumped, I went back down the hill, I scaled out, I got off the scale, I pulled off to the side so I can get my paperwork done. And as I'm doing that, I'm noticing that my airbags aren't inflating. So I thought, okay, so it must be my leveling valve or my leveling rod. So I jump out and I crawl underneath the truck. I fix the leveling rod, jeez. And I dropped my AirPods. Well, I noticed later on in the day, because I'm looking for my damn case, right? I'm like, so I had one earbud in my ear, but no case. So I'm looking, I can't find it. So finally I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look at my Find My. And at this point I kind of already knew where it was at. I was like, oh dude, it has to be there, right? Like it has to be on the ground where I had jumped out to fix the leveling rod. And I look it up, and sure enough, it's there. So by then it was already too late. The landfill was already closed. So I decided, you know what? The following day, before I go do anything, I gotta go pick up this bin in Greeley. It's on the way, so I'm gonna stop at the landfill to go pick it up. And when I show up, I find it. But unfortunately, another truck had ran it over. So my brand new, almost $300 AirPods that I use on a daily basis, and if you're a driver, you know, you definitely need them. You need some kind of headset, some kind of audio device that connects to your phone, so you can talk to people, communicate, blah blah blah. Because this job, you communicate a lot, right? So dispatch or whatever it is, or especially with local jobs where you're going from spot to spot, having to call homeowners, call the dispatch, you know, back and forth, all that crap, and or just to talk to people. You know, like, it's a lonely ass job. Like, you're just sitting by yourself all day. It's nice to talk to people. You know what I mean? So. Very necessary. Well, they're gone. This is the worst part. The worst part is that wasn't the only time that had happened. It happened to me one time prior to that. I noticed it, picked them up, put them back in my pocket. You would think that I would learn from that mistake. Nope. I did not learn from my mistake. I ended up making that mistake a second time, but this time I paid for it. So, but yeah, that's the other thing that happened to me, which really sucked. That happened this week. So, yeah, definitely not having AirPods or some kind of audio device really does suck. It's funny because as I drive, I start remembering some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. Some of the things that had happened these last couple of weeks. So I took this specific route about a week ago. A route that I normally don't take. You know. So there I am. I'm driving down this specific road. I'm not going to say which one it is, but I'm going down this road. And there's a cement truck behind me. And I noticed that the cement truck turned in to a specific area. Like, there's really nothing there. It's only like a little road. It's kind of paved off a little bit, and then it comes back into the main road. So I thought that was kind of strange. So I started kind of looking around. Keep in mind, I had already passed the entrance or that little road, and I'm going. I look over, and I noticed that I had just ran a portable weigh station. I'm like, oh, well. We all know what happens next. State trooper, right? Chases you down. Kind of, hey, what are you doing? Why didn't you stop? Blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards. Well, that didn't happen. I lucked out. I kept driving. I got done with my day. And nothing came out of that, right? So nothing happened, whatever. A couple days later, I am going down the same road, and sure enough, there's a sign: commercial vehicles, portable weigh station up ahead, whatever. So I pull in, and I talk to the officer, and you know, everything checks out except for one thing: we didn't have the 1 year inspection done. So we got dinged on for that, but we didn't get a ticket or anything. We just got like a little warning, like, hey, you gotta get this done type of thing, a little pat on the wrist. So I get done, I get out of there, I'm driving down the road, and I guess another truck driver had said, you know, screw it, I'm gonna run it, or did what I did and didn't even see it. Well, he was pulled over. So I completely lucked out that first time, and I'm grateful that I pulled into it this second time, because if not, that would have been me on the side of the road, probably getting bitched at by a freaking officer, questioned on why I didn't stop, blah blah blah, all that, and probably would have gotten a big ticket as well. So that happened. It's been an eventful couple weeks. Well, wish me luck. I hope I don't get stuck. I'm looking for the tare weight on this truck. Good morning. I'm sorry? 20,760. Well, we're gonna risk it for the biscuit right now. Hopefully, we don't get stuck. So far, so good. It's not too bad out here. Talked to my boss about maybe placing some bins over here, which would be very convenient, especially for like days like this. Yeah, so far so good. These guys do a good job at compacting their roads, so they're not all slushy, like not like muddy and like just loose, you know. You know, actually, never mind. It doesn't look bad at all. I might still be okay. I've gone to the other landfill and gotten stuck out there just because of how bad the roads are. Just they don't have it as nicely set up like this place. From where we're at now, that left-hand side looks a lot like more flatter, just more level. So I'm gonna stick to this side more. Oh man. A little slushy, not too bad. Woo. Oh. I think I just got my face. Let's try it right there. We'll get on out of here. Woo, look at that. Oh, that's super slushy. Ah, my boots are going in like 2 inches. Ah, gosh dang it. No. Nope. That's that. Oh, it's part of the job. Cool. That was easy peasy. Now we just gotta make it out of here. I just look at this already. Like we already have these massive puddles forming up. Like I said, it's only 9:40. So yeah, by the time the day ends, all this snow is gonna be gone. Which is funny because that's what I told my wife, and she's like, "No, it's not. There's not. No." I was like, "No, trust me. By the end of the day, the snow's gonna be gone." And sure enough, it's already happening.